Hit me up on Facebook. Let's look at America. We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree: kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals or equal Americans as us white men. And to my black brothers and sisters, the racial issues, as I've said, have been there from the very foundation. But why do we see it more? Because there's a shifting. See, us white men have been at the head since the foundation. But we've had a black president. And you know, we've done everything in our power to keep him from really changing things. Now we have another minority rising to the top, a white female. What does that say? Those of us who are white men who have been at the head are now starting to see and fear that we are going to become the tail. And we know what we've done to you. And so now we're fearful that you're going to do to us what we have done to you. But I will say this. I've lived in a black community for 23 years. I've never been treated the way that this country has treated my black Americans. So I call out my white Americans to say we better heed, repent, acknowledge, and change. Because if we don't, I just want to again say this. The bloodshed that we will experience is on our hands, not the hands of our fellow black Americans. I welcome your comments.
Shalom. Call Lamla Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua. Bahashem Rakwakadash. All praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son and our Lord and Savior, Yahushua. Much respect and honor to the brothers that are doing the work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so, pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that is scattered abroad, and double honor and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Coming back at you with another lesson. Reincarnation is a core essence of the Holy Scriptures. So why are we still talking about Edomites treating the Israelites fairly? That is because we come back in our lots in every third and fourth generation. So this is why we're still talking about civil rights, because the same players are back on the world stage. So reincarnation is real, and it's crystal clear to see it in the scriptures. And I'm just going to show just a few of them. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 137, let's go down to verse 6. The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 6. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. So King David is prophesying about remembering the Lord's inheritance. Now, he passed away in the ancient world, but let's see what time frame that he's focused on. Let's keep reading. The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. So remember what the Edomites did when taking down Jerusalem and sacking the temple. So this is talking about calling things back into remembrance. So we can't put the pieces together unless we keep reading. Let's go. Psalms 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So this is the key right here. The daughter of Babylon is a future kingdom that came out of the ancient kingdoms, which includes the Neo-Babylonian Empire. So America is that future kingdom that he's prophesying about. And this is it actually goes a little heavier than this. So he's talking about the time frame or the window of judgment to the daughter of Babylon in which the Edomites would be ruling. Now, the other part of the story is these Edomites were responsible for helping the ancient Babylonians take down Jerusalem as well. So they're back in their lots. Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So their little ones' heads are going to be bashed against the stones. Now, some of this is going to be literal, just like they did the northern kingdom of Israel. And the other part of that is from these nuclear missiles that are going to strike the daughter of Babylon, America. Let's keep going. So reincarnation is all throughout the scriptures. See, matter of fact, before we go there, let's go to Obadiah. So remember, the Most High is looking at this movie in a 2.5 day time frame, which is approximately 2,700 years or so. See, let's go to Obadiah. So the Most High has not forgotten. See, let's go to Obadiah, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau to the great and terrible day of the Lord. Let's go to verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So this final war is going to be very devastating. Let's go to verse 10. See, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the violence also goes back to the historical account of the ancient Babylonians taking down Jerusalem, and the Edomites aligned themselves with them. Around 586 BC is when they started that siege, and they helped the ancient Babylonians. So these same Edomites would continue that hatred towards their brethren, the Israelites. We're going to come back to that. See, let's go to Psalm 6, verse 10. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. See? So all of the kingdoms are congregated here in the great melting pot, the daughter of Babylon, America. Let's look up this word, return. Excuse me. Return should be shawab. Comes from the Hebrew.
Strong's H, 7725. Shuv. Shuv.
Shawab. See, to turn back, to draw back or to turn back, to deliver again, cause to make, to return back, slide back, take back, back again. Wow, look at that. One moment. Back again. So all these nations are back, and they are joined together here in the great melting pot. Let's read it again. Psalm 6, verse 10. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. Beautiful. Let's go to verse 9. Psalm 6, verse 9. The Lord have heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. So the Lord answers the prayers of his elect. See, let's go to Amos 1. The book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So the Edomites have that spirit of pure envy and hatred towards Jacob, towards their brother. So they have kept this rage and this feeling of wrath forever. Now this is a beautiful connection to Revelation chapter 12, that the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. See? So that devil is deceiver, slanderer, or false accuser, which connects back to the dragon, or Rome, Edom, which is the adversary of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, or human adversary on earth. Amos 1 and 12. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. So that fire is going to come in the form of nuclear destruction. So the Bible is a true book, but it has to be interpreted properly. Let's go here. See? Now we can go to the day of the Lord. So this is the great and terrible day of our Lord, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Look at the title, The Future. Keep in mind, the Most High is looking at a time frame of approximately 27 years, which is 2.5 days. See, Obadiah 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Wait a minute. I thought all these kingdoms died off. So they're back in the daughter of Babylon, the great melting pot. They're congregated back. They're in government cabinets, leadership positions, mayors, governors, senators, congressional delegates. So they're back. And they're in various parts of U.S. districts like U.S. embassies. And some of them are serving on the military bases that are abroad, that are an extension of the daughter of Babylon, America. But the main center stronghold is America. That's why he said, I will send a fire upon Basra, that we read in Amos chapter 1. Obadiah verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. So they're ruling over his chosen, his people, his dispersed, his heritage, Israel. Obadiah, verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. So all of the heathen, starting with their land, is going to become a part of the promised inheritance to the Israelites. The Holy Land is going to be translated over to the Israelites, the elect. So the governing authorities under the house of David, under Yahweh Shai, is going to take the heathen land and them into captivity, into a possession. But Mount Zion, starting with the Lord's elect, is promised salvation, which is the ruling authority over the kingdom to come, the dominion for eternity. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And this is 1,000 years after Armageddon, that they're going to serve approximately 1,000 years in slavery, and then be burned from off the face of the earth, because evil is going to be swallowed up. That's the death that's being conquered. So there's not going to be any such thing as death anymore. So by default, that man of sin, which constitutes and promotes death, the embodiment of death, is going to be done away with. See, let's go here. So there's not going to be any more Edomites to promulgate death and sickness and pain sorrow and suffering on the earth anymore. See, let's go to Matthew 10 and 28. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. So right there, the housetop is this unicorn, the World Wide Web, letting our light shine. Let's go here to verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So this is going to be hell for the Edomites. This Obadiah verse 18, they're going to be ultimately destroyed because the earth is not going to have a need for wickedness, evil, death. So they will have outgrown their usefulness or their utility. They will no longer be needed. So that's going to mark the end of evil on the earth. Death is going to be swallowed up in victory, which constitutes the nation of Edom. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Kadash. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharallah and the Bad Babal. We got next, Lord willing. Barakatham. Shalom.